Good afternoon. Welcome to Card Authority. It's one of our favorite shows we like to. Oh, Jesus. Welcome to Card Authority. You'd think after like 40 odd shows, I'd get that right. Welcome everyone to a special edition of Card Authority. As always, Adam Janky, AJ2 is on board with me. And we are here, as always, to break down and go through the brand new release. Select Australia has just announced, no less than about 10 or 15 minutes ago, that Select Optimum 2022 is going to be out. No real surprises. We've seen a few leaks with some DPSs. Janks, what's your first take on it?
I've just been busy the last couple of minutes whilst the timer was on in the comments, responding to a couple of people, and I am certainly very excited. I think we discussed previously, both on the show and in general terms, we were expecting to see probably the second version of Optimum.
Yep.
It would have to be pretty similar. What really could they change? You said no surprises for me. The big surprise for me is actually the signatures on the mirrors. So
we'll talk about that.
Into that, but
probably more surprised that it was Optimum. You know what I mean? That there was lots of talk probably a couple of months ago. Will they be doing Optimum again? Will they bring Legacy back? Will they bring all sorts of things? Once we saw that leak of the DPSs a couple of weeks ago, it was pretty clear that Optimum was going to come. But really, really exciting. I guess just to run through a bit of housekeeping for people that might have missed the live stream. So it is now on sale for SEC members. You can get 2 boxes with your SEC membership, and that is open until the end of the week.
That's an increase from 1 last year.
Yep, 1 correct.
So 1 last year, 2 this year for SEC.
Public sale will be next Sunday at 5 p.m. I'm just double checking that. 5 p.m. next Sunday, so the day after grand final. And there is a 2-box limit for public sale.
Which is down from last year. So
which was
increased.
4.
Okay, so they've increased the SCC to 2.
Yep.
And they've reduced the public on sale from 4 down to 2.
Correct.
So SCC continuing to be rewarded.
Yes.
Obviously, as we've discussed previously, great to be part of it if you've got one.
Yep.
If you don't, obviously a little bit shit at the moment, but there's always they recycle it around March.
Yeah, straight after Footy Stars.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So just after the release of Footy Stars, you should expect there'll be the opening period if you are not an SCC member.
One of the also big changes that I've seen for this release. Hello to everybody. Sorry, I see everyone saying hello. We will get to you all, and Wade sitting on a beach, half your luck. The big addition for SEC is you can now get folders, and they've released a British Racing Green, which is a pretty flashy color from the Smurf Blue or whatever they did last year. So you can now get up to 2 folders with your SEC. From what I've heard, there is very limited numbers of the folders. So if you want to get a folder, make sure you grab one during SEC, because I don't know how many more. I mean, we'll probably have some in the store, but there is certainly not infinite folders if it's something that you collect the folders over the years. It's like, obviously we've had 10 minutes to talk about it and go through it.
So where to start? So production quantity seems the same.
Exactly the same. 8,400 boxes. Again, looks like they're selling direct. There'll also be, the big retailers will have stock as well.
I'm seeing a few comments about the rookie situation.
Yeah.
So are the rookies not represented in the Optimum Plus this time around?
That could be a good pickup. Let me have
a look. They are. So they are rookies. They are in the Optimum Plus. But are they then not in the parallel? They're in the parallel as well. So they are. Okay, so they are.
Yeah, they're there.
They are there.
Yeah, so basically they don't. You've got the logo plus. So you've got 9 cards in the Optimum Plus. Plus you've also got the rookies. Yeah. So the rookies, based on their card number, is at the end.
Yeah.
So that's why they're out of sequence. If you have a look on the checklist, they've got the list of the 8 players or 9 players.
Yeah. So from the top here, base cards, same thing as to be expected. Optimum Plus, same thing as to be expected. Optimum Plus parallel, obviously design looks a bit different. I'm assuming from the visual that we saw and obviously what we can see on the checklist that it does still have that holographic mirror board.
Mirror board,
on the background like the Optimum Plus had last time.
Just a little thing to note, if you haven't gone through an Optimum release before, the base cards, so the 9 players they have in base, are not the same players that they have in Plus and the parallel. So it's a separate set of players, which gives more team spread and more player spread.
Then, of course, the DPSs, and I think this was the big winner in terms of the introduction in 2021 of a release that had tiered tiered DPSs, including short print, and obviously this is a huge rookie class as well. We've talked previously about the Nick Dacos situation, but there's a number of other players as well. There's a number of other players as well. So DPS has come back in at the same numbering again with the copper, gold, and platinum.
Yep.
I'm really excited from a personal perspective. I know a bunch of the Saints guys are too, because this time around we have some really great DPSs. I know the Wangani Malera is going to be a big one for a lot of the Saints guys.
You're going to get yourself one or two of those?
Just a few of those, and I'm presuming it's mostly the same across the board for all teams. I know last year Essendon was sort of overrepresented on the heavy side of being highly,
more draft picks.
Multiple big draft picks that were highly desirable. What happens this time around, I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I know
into that another time.
Richmond, I think, have 5. I'm gonna have to go through it, but
yeah,
I know there's definitely. I guess it's all about the draft picks. It's actually a deeper draft picks SIGs this year. So there's 65, whereas there were 59. I think
59 last year.
50 out of 59. So very exciting. Moving on to some of the new things, and we will go through them more. So futures look like they've replaced headliners. Matrix look like they've replaced specialist. There is 2 All-Australians this year, numbered to 195 and also numbered to 80.
Yep.
The medal winners, it looks like they've revamped that card as well. Probably the big thing, we will talk about this later, the mirrors, the Optimum mirror cards have now turned into individual signatures as well, which is huge. And Footy's Finest is back.
Absolutely.
Everyone knows that it's one of my favorite cards and a favorite of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Really fantastic to see it. And of course, the dual SIG is back as well for 2022.
So just on the analysis side a little bit, or the ratios, obviously, so the futures card is essentially replacing what was last year a specialist.
Yep.
So that is a box hit. You'll get 1 per box there.
It's funny though. I thought that initially, but looking at the numbering, so the headliners were 95 last year, and the futures are 95.
Okay.
Whereas the Matrix are 80 and the specialists were 80.
Okay, so they've swapped around, but whereas the look, so it's a bit confusing because the look of the futures is in line with what the look of the specialist was, and obviously a few people have mentioned already the Matrix cards look like a portrait version now of essentially a headliner, but as you said, they're shifted the other way. I saw a couple of comments earlier from people just saying, do we think that there's going to be a gold Matrix card this time? Because of what we saw with the gold headliner last time. So,
well, they've certainly started a little bit of trend about having Easter eggs, we've called it.
A non-checklisted card,
Yeah, that's right. So, the Matrix card, obviously, it's a beautiful card, and I'm going to put a picture of it up in a second. But maybe there is a black version of that.
Yeah.
Which, would make sense because it's kind of similar to what they did last year with the headliners.
Yeah, or they could literally do just the gold version headliner again, because I'm assuming the Matrix from the image looks very similar to what the headliners did in terms of the finishing.
Yeah, that's true. Probably, yep.
All Australians. Interesting situation. Before we talk about this year's All Australians, just previously we were pretty critical, I suppose, last time around of the All Australians, because we were always, conversations always ensued from between us and with other people as well in the community, that we always wanted to see All Australians get some sort of value connected to them by getting numbered.
Yep.
I don't think anyone, including us, thought they were going to come out and number All Australians to 65 and make them essentially case hits, or whether 2 per case or 3 per case, whatever they were, but they were still case hits. So, we said we thought they'd made an error last year. I think they've fixed that up to a degree here, but I find the situation...
Well, 80 feels better.
Well, no, it's more the other one that's the high numbered All Australian.
195.
Yeah, 195. To me, that's where All Australians should actually be.
Yep. Okay.
That should be a card numbered somewhere around 200.
Yep.
So it has that value sort of in the $3 to $5 range for your average players, maybe a bit more for the others. Whereas the All Australians in the past, prior to last year, were always 50-cent $1 cards.
Yep.
Because they were so mass produced, or people didn't understand what the numbering was. So that's interesting. So I think that's a big tick there, is getting All Australians back in a higher population and spread out, but still having them numbered to retain some sort of interest and value and a chase factor there. The number to 85 one, it's
80
number to 80 ones. Yeah, interesting. Like I suppose it creates a new chase. I'm not sold on it yet. It'll grow on me. Jack Steele's in there, and I love that fact.
Yep.
I also feel like all of a sudden, there's all these people that for many years, whether you're a team collector or a certain type of collector, a lot of people actually specifically collected the All Australian sets every year.
Absolutely.
And it was a cheap set and easily achievable set. Then last year happened, and I remember at the time quite a few people starting to say like, "Oh, well, this is the end of my chase of All Australians." Basically, I feel like now bringing it back to something that's attainable at a low price gives opportunity for those collectors to actually come back in now and go, you know what? If for 20 years they were all cheap, then there's one anomaly year. I'll just go back and quickly pick those up now, and I can then continue collecting on without it costing an arm and a leg. So I think that happens, but I also think that what that then triggers is the value of those ones from last year is going to spike heavily because now they are all of a sudden an anomaly.
And the other thing too is with all Australian cards, you've got generally marquee players. You know, they're all superstars of the game of either, in individual clubs. So those cards should, in theory, warrant quite a good return.
Yeah.
Thankfully, no Dusty there this year, so that saves you a bit of pain.
Pete Buchanan just said he reckons the All-Australian medal will look really nice in hand.
Yep.
Look, I'm going to be honest. I don't think they look amazing in picture, but I've always been one to say very quickly that cards in hand are so different to how they look on camera or even on video for that matter. Like they're just, it comes through. So you're potentially right there, Pete. Time will tell.
Yeah, so just having a quick look at this with the math, I saw someone's comment pop up there. It looks like the number to 195 is every 2 boxes, 1 in 2 boxes, 1 in 48 packs. And the number to 80 is 1 in every 5 boxes.
So 2 per case.
So you're going to get 6.
2 and 1/3.
Yeah, 6 of the 195s, and you're going to get like 2.5 per case of the number to 80s.
Yeah.
Or 2.4, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I agree. Look, when I first saw them on the video, then they felt very purple. I thought this is a Fremantle subset, but again, you've certainly said many times that, until you hold cards in hand, it's hard to sort of make an opinion on them. Let's just move a couple. Let's get a couple.
Yeah, Kyle, absolutely. I appreciate that. Kyle is correct what he's just said in the comments. Based on what AJ just said of the actual hit ratios of them, they're going to be more than a $3 to $5 card, even the ones numbered to 195. The 195 isn't a reflection because you've only got 22 players represented as opposed to a large set. So they are actually still going to be worth a bit more.
So I'm just going to
attainable nonetheless, hopefully.
So I'm just taking you off screen there, Jenks. Everyone can still hear you. Matrix cards. So one of the new additions that we just talked about. Clearly a very good looking card. Has definitely a little bit of a feel of what the headliners were last year. And as we just mentioned, if there was ever going to be an Easter egg, a black version or an inverted version of that could be an absolute ripper. Really, it's a good looking card. So they're numbered to 80, 1 per box. So it's a box hit for that card.
Yep.
Obviously all star players. Again, look.
As I said, it looks to me like design-wise, the finish is going to be the same as what they were last year in the headliners.
Yep, agree.
Jamie says not a fan of the Matrix. Yeah, it's hard. It's so hard to tell. Like I need to see the finish as opposed to just the design.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But yeah, it's.
I'm a fan. I like it. All right, futures cards, Jenks. So these have replaced the headliners. Looks like these are going to be more of the younger players. Looking at we're checking the checklist out that you guys are as well. Just scanning through it, it looks like sort of 1 to 3 year players, 1 to 4 year players, generally young and up and comers. I did see Walsh there, obviously in the image. Again, look, these cards personally, I think look really good. Be interesting to see what kind of finish they have. Is it going to look like the metal cards from last year, have that kind of wave in the back, or is it going to be a little bit more matte? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I feel like they're not going to be as like physically, one as thick and maybe the finishing not as good as those metal cards were. I don't know. I'm this is probably the other subset that for me isn't jumping out and exciting me.
Yeah, see, I like this.
See, I think player selection's good. I don't know. I need to see it in hand. I need to feel it and see the finish in hand. But I feel like, it's not exciting me. Yeah.
So this is another box hit, but no, I'm against you on that one, James.
Yep.
So I think these look good. The big talking point. Let's move this across. The signatures. So big change for this release, and certainly something that has added a lot of value. Massive value is that they've transferred or transformed the mirror cards from last year into individual signature cards, and they've moved the numbering down to 50, and it looks like these are going to be just over 2 per case.
Yep.
Yeah, so 1 in every 120 packs. So what's that? 1 every 5 boxes.
Yeah, so you get 2. Yeah,
2.2
so 2 per case. So look, it's going to be pretty much the same thing as what it was with the mirrors last year.
Yep.
Huge win here for collectors. Huge win. Because
huge value add.
You've essentially taken a mirror card, which was already a true case hit, and turned it into a signature variation.
Yep.
And the players are obviously very big across the board in terms of representation. So it just adds such a big amount of value to the chase and what you can hit. In terms of opening your own boxes, it's going to add big value. For breaks, it obviously adds a huge new element to it as well.
Yep.
Like, to think now, case hit wise, you're looking at signature mirror cards, footy's finest cards, platinum sigs,
Jewel sigs.
Yeah, jewel sigs.
Yep.
Still some short print Australians at 80. Like, it's significant.
Yep.
It's hard to add to a release like this after what they did last year. So I like the not the add-on, the upgrade. They've essentially upgraded.
They've upgraded the card.
Yeah. And albeit, look, footy's finest, which we can obviously
we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, but they've definitely upgraded in that sense, I think.
So let me read out some of the
names.
Yeah, let me read out some of the names. Sloan, Edwards, Lepper, Chera gets his first sig in Carlton colours. Judd, Jamie Elliott, some bloke Nathan Buckley, which I've seen Christian Smith post about 75 times already. Hurley, Matthew Lloyd's a big one.
Yep.
Nat Fife, Stewart and Enright. I know the Geelong guys are going to be happy with that. Jesse Hogan, Heath Shaw. I'm sure Heath Shaw's going to get bulked. Gary Ablett Jr., Gunston, Dunstall, Petrarca, Schwartz, Zeeble and Simpson, Boak, Franku. I just saw someone talking about, I think it was Glenn Andy saying that's a big one. Prestia and Delidio, your boy Jack Steele and the G-Train.
The G-Train is just mega.
Rampy and Bolton, amazing. Darling and Jakovic, and Bailey Smith and Brad Johnson. That's a big one for the Dogs.
I'm assuming it's a similar situation like with St Kilda. G-Train has never had a signature card.
Yep.
Cult player, never actually been a signer for Select before.
Yep.
People have been yearning for years. We thought we were well past the point that you'd ever even see a signature card from him, especially after Supremacy. There was a non-SIG card of his, and there was no SIG to match up with it.
Yep.
Big win there.
And I'm
assuming it's similar with all teams.
I've seen a few comments about the quality. Obviously, Select were well and truly aware of a few of the missteps in the production and the board quality of last year's Dual Sigs. I mean, I don't know the answer, but I would be shocked if they hadn't made some adjustments to that.
Absolutely, it would make sense. Any company who is in a situation like that, well, the last thing you want to do is have to deal with it again. So you would go and make your improvements accordingly. Yep. And again, I think Select has demonstrated, as has been stated multiple times in their preview video just before I saw, they're absolutely monitoring and taking on board what collectors are saying. They're monitoring the communities, they're taking on board. I have no doubt there's a multitude of things that are going on at the moment, including stuff like the inclusion of the footy's finest, which is based on collectors' feedback. And collectors' feedback, for the most part, is through social media.
So, look, again, we're not going to know that till we get it in hand, but I think they, as always, they seem to learn from missteps in the past. So, obviously, all those names we just talked are then on a dual sig as well. Both numbered to 50. They are going to be So effectively in case form, and I know, you can't buy cases, but effectively 3 and a bit boxes of every case is going to have a dual SIG and 2 of these individual SIG cards. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 3 boxes out of a case.
3 boxes out of a case.
3 out of
Or
3 out of 12. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 out of 12.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a ripper. And then, of course, as you just touched on there, Janks. Oh, wrong mouse. Hide that one. Footy's Finest is back. One of my favorite all-time cards. Keys, McGluggy, Sam Walsh gets a Footy's Finest. Crisp, Don Namgood, I think this guy, has put out an AVO on him. Darcy Parish.
Yeah.
Brayshaw, Jeremy Cameron in Geelong, Toby Green. Oh, no way, you're in trouble. Took Miller, Sicily, Clary, Nick Larkey, Rosie, my boy Kochi, Max King, Buddy Franklin.
Yeah.
I've cut off the bottom.
Obviously, Footy's Finest, an absolute classic, which came out in certified. People have been wanting to see it back for years. I remember they polled last year.
Oh, and Norton has a Footy's Finest as well.
I remember selected the poll last year where they were asking the collectors what they thought was going to be in the release. And I think Footy's Finest was the one that was the most.
Yeah,
so
it's a huge.
It's a fantastic looking card. Obviously numbered to 80.
Yep.
So they're not the same as influentials. They're double the print run of influentials. And historically, the previous Footy's Finest have not had the same value as the influentials. So there shouldn't be the expectation that you're going to have to fully break the bank.
Some of those cards are big.
Some will certainly be very valuable. But yeah, being numbered to 80 and obviously 2 per case.
2 per case, so 1 in every 144 packs, which is 6 boxes.
Yeah,
so they're gone from number to 40 influentials to number to 80 Footy's Finest, but you have 2 per case.
Yeah.
So already with the SIGs and those, that's 5 case hits straight away.
Yeah. It's big.
It's big.
It's big.
That's big. Yeah.
Will Gorman has asked a very important question there. He says, what does Janky think about Cochin being a Footy's Finest? Probably the wrong player to put in the Footy's Finest and an additional medal card for the biggest thug in the league award.
You both.
That one could go to Koch, but I'm pretty happy with the Max King's Footy Finest. It'll look nice. Hopefully we can get some misses.
So medal cards are back. 1 in 840 packs. So
3 cases, 1 in 24, 36 boxes. Yeah.
No.
1 in 34. What is that?
No, it's 1 in 840 packs. So 1 in every 3
cases.
3 cases.
2 in a big cases, yeah.
3 in a big cases.
Whatever.
240 packs per case. Oh no.
No, it's not.
No, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Whatever it is, 1 in 3 cases.
1 in 3 cases.
Call it. We'll call it for now 1 in 3 cases.
Yeah.
The medal cards, are they numbered to 50 again?
They are numbered to 50.
So they are numbered to 50. I saw a few people commenting they really like the designs.
Wines, Mackay, Petrarca, Luke Jackson, and Bontempelli.
So I saw a few people commenting earlier they really like the designs. I am not in the boat with you on that one at this stage.
See, I disagree. I like them.
Maybe if one of my guys ever won a medal, then there would be a reason for me to really like.
I do like from the checklist where they put a picture of each card up, or one of the cards. They've stitched Jack Steele up with another really flattering picture.
He's always got his tongue in his cheek.
He's always
looks like a cheek, Steely.
Yeah,
unfortunately, that's all right.
Yep.
Dale says Glenn behave after Glenn has said maybe one of the Easter eggs will be a Thugs Finest card.
Maybe.
I like it, Glenn.
So that's an absolute ripper. And then DPSs. I mean, we've talked at length about the Dacos DPS, the Platinum. Looks like there's going to be, what do we work out? Platinum is 1 in 86 packs, so that's
2 per case, 3 per case.
Yeah, two and a bit per case.
Was it 288 packs per?
There's 24 packs per box.
Yeah, 12 boxes, 288.
Yeah.
So 288 packs in a case, and what are those?
86. So it's going to be 3?
3. You're going to get 3 to a case.
3 platinums per case. Wow.
So that's an increase as well.
Yeah, I reckon it was only 2 last year.
Because they were basically in the boxes. You didn't get a case.
So
you
3 SIGs.
You get 3 SIGs per
3
box.
platinums plus 2 Footy's Finest.
Minimum 2 SIGs per box.
That's already 8. Oh, wow. some serious they're really upped their game on signatures. That's for sure.
And on card signatures, and that's one of the key things as well. And I think a lot of people are starting to really acknowledge that now, especially those who are coming from other sports. Is the quality in terms of signatures, albeit there's been issues in the past with scratching and chipping and all that sort of stuff. That's material based, but in terms of the effort and what's involved in actually getting signatures onto physical cards and all types of cards.
Who are the SIGs for North Melbourne for Maggie? It is Jack Zeeble and Adam Simpson.
So I feel like an overarching theme, AJ, of the release, I don't know if you'll agree with this, and again, it's all fresh and raw, but it feels like the overarching release is a lot of feedback from collectors has been taken on board and really, applied moving forward. And I saw Sean Walsh, a member of the Facebook community, commented on a Fraser Gary photo I put up before saying, give the people what they want.
Yeah.
And I really feel like that is the direction. That is very much the ethos of what's starting to really happen. We're seeing it more and more over the last 12 months. But I think it's starting to really carry through now.
No, I completely agree.
What they want in terms of from a creative standpoint and an inclusion standpoint.
So a couple of questions. And obviously, look, now that we've gone through, I'll fire your questions through. Palmsy saying that we're talking about per case. The only reason we talk per case is because that's ratios, how they talk the ratios on. As I said earlier, no one can get cases, but we need to, that's the way they do the ratios for the inserts. So that's why we talk in that sort of case form. But we could talk in packets or pocket boxes. It's same. A question there from Christian. In both your opinions, what's the biggest individual card and player in the series? Jenks, you can go first because I need to think about it a little bit.
So notwithstanding the Nick Dacos DPSs are a really interesting card. And the Nick Dacos DPS is going to be a real market tester because it's the first card to come out in the hobby, in the marketplace, after the explosion of draft pick and rookie speculation. So we've seen the last 2 years what that's done to the previous cards, such as your Walsh and your Dusty DPS and a number of other players. This is the first time. We saw it a little bit with Jamara last year, but this is a whole new level now because you've got a player that's performing at an elite level already with the card coming through. So I think we're going to see the Nick Dacos thing is going to take DPSs to an entirely new level at all three categories as well. You've got to remember Copper at number to 175 is still a far shorter print card than the Dusties and any of those sorts of things. Walsh was obviously, I think, 175 in dominance. That was the first year that they brought down the numbers.
I think DPS Christian, $1,200. You'll be kidding yourself. It's going to be
for a platinum. No way.
It's going to be. It's going to well exceed that.
I think the platinum's huge. Nick Dacos, a guy that could potentially, and again from a huge club as well. And I'm not obviously I feel bad here, as if it's pumping up the value of the card, but the reality is all we can look at is existing things like your Dusties and stuff, okay? Richmond Dynasty, superstar all-time, one of the greats.
Dynasty's still going on, bro.
Yeah, one of the greats of Richmond, number to 400, fetching 900 plus sort of thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Nick Dacos, the potential to be as good as Dusty, would you agree, based on current what we've seen so far?
Yep.
At another huge dynasty club like Collingwood, who looks like they're going into a new era of success, led by these young guys, this card could be
it could be a record breaker.
We've had huge releases already in 2022, but this could be the most speculated card.
Archie Perkins last year, platinum, as Don just said, was 1K.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's
the Dacos thing's interesting because it's not just collectors, and I actually feel a bit for the Collingwood collectors.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Because the Collingwood collectors are now up against every man and his dog
who want one of these cards.
Yeah, and it's not just people who are trying to speculate on it or invest in it. It's other people who want it in their collection because they want to have it alongside other stuff.
Yep.
So it's a really interesting one. So look, I think Dacos, to answer the question, I think the Dacos DPSs are going to be right up there with some of the biggest chase cards in the series. I think, obviously, dual signatures, there's some of the dual sigs will have to be the biggest cards in the race.
Gary Ablett, Dunstall,
huge cards.
Buckley, they are some serious names on a dual sig.
Yeah.
I think, and Lloyd.
Yeah.
There's going to be some big cards.
Yeah.
Some big cards. And then, obviously, they've got their individual sigs as well.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some big cards.
And look, obviously, again, cards like the mirrors and stuff, this type of release has big jumper number chasers.
Yep.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of 01 and low number chasers and stuff like that as we continue to, have more people doing player collecting and subset collecting and stuff like that going on.
Yep.
We'll see more of a focus on numbers as well. So it's going to be really, really interesting. I think pricing wise, we obviously have a bit of work to do to work out our valuations.
Yeah, we'll do that this week.
But, there's going to be a bunch of stuff that's going to be in line with last year's release. And then there's going to be a bunch of stuff which is landing in the unknown category. And the first few days will really set the scene.
So a couple of people have obviously said in jest, just waiting for the break listings. Of course, RGB will be running breaks. We'll also have some stock for sale, retail, probably online, just to protect people a little bit. No one knows yet. We imagine we'll hear about it this week.
And we expect just like everything else, all the other breakers will be breaking it. If you want to look for all the reputable ones, if you're on the Really Good Vibes page, check on the advertising thread.
Yep.
All the reputable breakers have got their stuff.
We'll probably think, once we do our numbers and stuff, we'll probably see what happens on eBay. And obviously, I've already got some messages now of people wanting to sell some boxes to me. So
last year's pricing of breaks and boxes and everything should be indicative of what's going to happen this time around as well. Yep. There's not a huge amount of difference. The SIGs add a heap of extra value, the mirror SIGs, but
actually, so just why
the footy's finest aren't as big as the influential. So
but the
you've
SIGs,
got but the SIGs. So the value, there's probably still another 20% more extracted value out of an average box here to what it was last year.
Yep.
But I would expect as a participant and as someone again who goes and breaks
it's a big release.
It's a big release. The pricing should be similar to what we saw last year across the board.
And I'm pretty sure, look, Dale just reminded me, Cherry will have lots of stock. So probably best if you'll see Dale's name there, send him a message now, or even better, go to the store.
Yeah, and ask specifically for him.
For Dale, and Dale will have some boxes for you.
Yeah.
He pretty much, I've heard he's never said no to anyone.
Definitely message him though now, as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Just let him know of your interest.
And how many boxes. He likes to support everyone.
Yeah.
So shoot Dale a message, go and see him. He will be able to help everyone. Yeah. Everyone.
But again, guys, there is a lot of questions coming through about stock and stuff. No stores, as Jules from EJ's mentioned before as well on the stream. Like no one knows as yet what's going on. And normally, as retailers, don't know at this point usually anyway. We have to wait until after an announcement takes place, and then we all sort of collectively hear from the distributor.
I'm sure Dale's going to put a bounty out all years. I just saw his post there. He's getting his wanted post already.
Every day.
There you go. So you guys will be able to make some money.
Big release, guys. I'm really excited to delve into it a little bit more and dissect the checklist a bit more.
Yep.
I'm excited. Big couple of weeks.
We'll take a couple of questions very quickly because obviously it is.
Of course.
I know everyone's very keen to watch the red carpet for the Brownlow.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, while we're
Brownlow chips.
Who do you think's going to win? You're one of the greatest punters sports bet I've ever seen.
I don't know. I feel like something weird's going to happen and Cripper's going to end up coming through for the win. And next thing you know, we've just got this booklet card. That will be one of the biggest ever cards to come out of Footy Stars, I reckon.
Yep. I think look pretty solid. I'm going to call it Lockie Neal Brayshaw tie. But a sneaky little bet that I did do with some friends, Ollie Wines most votes for Port Adelaide because they've got Rosie as the favourite.
All right.
Ollie Wines most votes. Who gets the most votes of the Saints? Is it?
Well, it's going to be Steele. That Jack Steele's at $1.30. Jack Sinclair at $4. Sinks won the best and fairest. I messaged Jeffries a screenshot this morning saying, "Look at this! It's $4 for Jack Sinclair to get the most votes at St Kilda."
Yeah,
and he just gave me a one-liner back saying, "Backmen don't get votes."
Yeah,
and that was the end of that conversation.
And Chris, I know you've mentioned the other Virtuoso SIGs. I'm guessing we will probably see them in Footy Stars, but I mean Virtuoso. Well, Virtuoso SIGs are not part of an Optimum release.
Yeah.
So I would say they will most likely appear sometime next year.
Yeah.
That's my guess, Crispy. Don't know.
And the rookies thing, I saw, even after we talked about it, I saw a few people say, why is there no rookies? So if you weren't around, obviously, for Optimum 2021, they took out rookies as its own subset and put it into a base set and a parallel set, basically. So the rookie cards are there. They are on the checklist at the end of each of those.
Optimum Plus and also Optimum Parallels.
They're embedded there. They don't have their own actual rookie subset.
Because they're all in sequential number. Correct. So you can have a check of that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Obviously, super exciting time. Make sure you go and jump on and get your SCC
SCC's
boxes.
open now. Get
It's
in.
open now. And remember, folders, there is a limited amount. Dale's just thank you for the 7 messages he's already got.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Dale. Keep messaging Dale. Just be relentless. And he's up late.
Yeah.
So late.
He literally just messaged us to say,
keep
thanks
messaging.
very much. I've already got 7 messages.
So
Since you
keep
said it.
messaging
So
Dale.
you guys keep going. If anyone's got any spam bots,
But yeah, so look, SEC is open now. Get your 2 boxes. Public sale next Sunday, 5 o'clock, which is after grand final, the day after. 2 more boxes there. Grab your folders because there is a limited amount of folders. Of course, we will have stock at RGB. We will be doing breaks, and we really can't wait to get ripping into this product. October 6th.
October 6th was the shipping date.
Yep, shipping date, which is I think is a Thursday.
Okay, so it's still not coming for 3 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're still 3 weeks away from
2.5 weeks.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks.
Yep.
Away, guys. So it's going to be.
It's
going to be. I feel like it's going to be really intense actually over the next couple of weeks.
I can't wait.
People are going to be bursting out of their skin because everyone just wants to get a hold of it. That's the problem with announcements. You can't have it straight away.
Well, that's all right. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a fantastic evening. Good luck at the Brownlow. Obviously, gamble responsibly.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes open, not only to all your favorite groups, really good vibes. RGB will obviously have more information as it comes.
And congrats to Steve Stafford. He has mentioned he did message Dale, and Dale did confirm 2 boxes for him. So
fantastic.
Dale is allocating guys, so make sure you message him.
Yeah, message him now. Dale, got a PM sent.